Like you.
Mothers, fathers,
Sisters.
Brothers.
complete strangers.
Do you know who I am? I'm Rose West. If I'm not under arrest, why am I here? Oh, you've come to talk about my firstborn daughter, Heather. She was quiet and likes to be different to everybody else. She didn't get along with the rest of us. She left home, I don't know, a long time ago. She was almost 17, I know that much. She had reasons to run away, lots of things really. Mainly, I suppose because she was unhappy. We had problems with her at school, things like that. Having arguments with the teachers. She got suspended and that was that. But she just didn't seem to want to settle down here. I suppose there must have been raised voices. I don't know, I was upset. But she said she didn't want to stay. There must have been raised voices, I have no idea. If you had any brains at all, you could find her. It can't be that difficult. I'm not going to say anything. Do you want me to snitch on my own daughter? She's obviously doing what she wants to do. Unless something terrible has happened to her. I'm not going to say anything. There must be something somewhere. You've just missed it, that's all.
I don't know what happened on May 1st. Well, I can only go off of what the man said at the trial because he was the only one there. So according to him, one of them, there were two in the house. One of them snuck in and he shot and killed my husband. I don't know who did it. Bill was the youngest at the time. He was 15. The others were 17 and 18. They all said that they did it for him. They did it for his sake. That Bill was supposed to sneak in and make it look like a burglary and shoot and kill my husband. I had nothing to lose. I rented everything. My condo was rented. My apartment, my furniture was rented. We were newlyweds. Everything was rented. I had a good job and a car in my name. That's it. This is bogus. I had no reason to do this. I was not a part of any murder plot, especially not this one.
Okay, I cannot go in that execution chamber and die in that execution chamber a liar. I have to come clean and cleanse my spirit in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm being really straight up about everything. There was no self-defense. I killed those 7 men in first-degree murder and robbery as they said. Serial killer? Not so much. I was in the robbing biz. You know, serial killers are into that thrill-killing jazz, but I was into the robbing. I just had to eliminate the witness. You know, I really have to think first about the people who lost their loved ones and then my people second. I know it really sucks to lose someone you love. I know the feeling. But the world's full of evil. All of us have evil inside of us. Mine just happened to come out because of the circumstances I was in. You know, hitchhiking, going all around the United States. Eventually, it got tiring, and I carried the gun for protection. The testimony in court? No, that was all just lies. You know, I was sitting around figuring out how I could drum up a story and beat the system. I heard it was pretty convincing. That's sad. God, that is sad.
I've been through that night so many times. It's very hard, very tearful. When that man had shot my daughter, My first reaction was to go back to my childhood, to the pain that had happened then. My marriage, my entrapment in society, he was bigger than me. He was stronger than me. He had power. He was in control and I was not. And there was nothing I could do. You could just stand there, feeling trapped, like a slow motion picture. And then he swung around me and he shot my kids. I pushed him. I ran. And then he swung the gun around and hit the tips of my fingers and I went, wait a minute. I'm not trapped by society. I don't care if he's bigger than me. If I stand here, this man is going to kill my kids. And I'm not going to let him kill my kids. So instead of giving him the keys, I threw the keys. He didn't take the time to point the gun at me and shoot me, so it obviously hit my arm. Everybody says, oh, you're so lucky. Yeah, well, I don't feel very lucky. I'm going to have that scar for the rest of my life. And I'm going to have to remember that night for the rest of my life. So yeah, I don't think I was lucky. I think my kids were lucky.
It's all really blurry. It really is blurry. He was taking a shower, and I was going through the pictures he took, and I heard this loud ring. I don't really remember except Travis was screaming. I think I got knocked out, but I don't think it was that long. There were two people there. I looked at Travis and asked, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And he said, "Go get help." I went to turn around, and there were two people there. One was a guy, and the other was a girl. Travis was screaming the whole time. I chickened out, and I ran. I ran into the closet. The guy there, he didn't touch me, but said, "Don't you go anywhere," and told the girl to finish the job. I rushed towards the girl, and I pushed her. I was trying to get to Travis, and the girl came back. She wanted to do the same thing to me, but the guy told her no. They told me not to tell the cops, or they would do the same thing to my family, and me. He said, "You need to leave." I was really scared. I feel responsible because I feel I should have done more. I feel I should have gotten help, that I should have been stronger. I did not kill Travis. I would never do a thing like that. I just didn't want my family to get hurt. I'd like to say something to his family, but I don't think I'd have anything that would bring them comfort. Maybe I could write them a letter. I'm able to stay so calm through my faith and through the knowledge of my own innocence. That's the only thing. I would be shaking in my boots if I had to answer to God for such a heinous crime. But what really helps my nerves is singing. I love to sing. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
Suspicion turns to me. It turns to me because I'm her husband, and that's a natural thing. A husband, ex-husband, boyfriend is statistically the one that could be responsible for her disappearance. But I'm not responsible. We had a perfect relationship, and no one can tell you that except me or her. No one knows our relationship but us. That evening, we had plans with Mom at her house. Frankly, Christmas preparations were done, and her plan for the day was to bake gingerbread cookies. I had the day to play golf or go fishing. And so that day I chose fishing, which is obviously a choice I regret now. If I had just stayed home, none of this would have ever happened. I do not think the police will arrest me. I know that there's no kind of basis, and I had nothing to do with her disappearance. So there's no kind of evidence or anything like that. I did not murder my wife, and you used the word murder, and, well, yes, that is a possibility. It's not one we're ready to accept. It creeps in my mind late at night and in the early morning. And the only thing we can think about throughout the day is the right resolution to find her.
Not everything I said was a lie.
I don't know where Kaylee is. I absolutely do not know where she is. I legitimately have not seen my daughter for 5 weeks. I don't want anything to happen to her. Somebody had been taking care of her. That had been taking good care of her took her. I don't know why I lied. I'm scared, and I know I'm running out of options. It's been a month. I'm scared I'll never see my daughter ever again. I have been beside myself. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, they haven't been gone that long. Maybe I can find them. Maybe I can track them down. The truth is, I have not seen my daughter. The last time I saw her was on the 9th of June. I'm not a monster! I swear! I dropped her off in an apartment. That's exactly where I dropped her off. I'm absolutely petrified. My mom's never gonna forgive me, and I'm never gonna forgive myself. But I purposely missed with you. But she's with someone else. But I am a mom. And I know that feeling, and in my gut there's a feeling of a parent. You can feel that connection, and I still have that feeling, that presence. I know that she's alive. Whether you have a bucket load of evidence that contradicts that and says otherwise, or all you have are speculations, or nothing at all.
I did not lie in that polygraph. I promise everything I told you was true. I want them back home. I don't know where they are. I want my babies back. At 4 a.m. is when my alarm goes off for work. I get dressed and brush my teeth and everything. 4:15, I slide right back into bed and start having a conversation with Shannon about putting up the house for sale. I get ready for work, go to work, get a call from the police, then come home. When I got home, I opened the garage door, went inside the house, looked everywhere for Bella Celeste. Nowhere to be found. Her phone was still on the couch, her purse was still there, her car was still there, just no sign of them anywhere. I was hoping I would get a knock on the front door. You have to trust me, I had nothing to do with this act of evil cruelty, because my love for these 2 girls is like I don't want anything to happen to them. I never wanted anything to happen to them. The amount of love for my family is exponential and it's never going to die. I have to have them back. I love these girls so much, and there's nothing more that means more to me than these girls. Nothing at all.
For over 14 years, I, John Wayne Gacy, have been appealing my conviction for the murder of 33 young men and boys. I've been sentenced to 12 death sentences and 21 natural lives. There are 11 hardbound books, 39 other full chapters on me, 10 Broadway plays, 2 screenplays, 1 movie, 5 songs, and over 5,000 articles in which my name is mentioned. And yet, not one of those has taken the time to talk to me. Their research is all bogus. The reader has been left with a bunch of unanswered questions. And look where you're putting together a puzzle. If you don't have the right pieces, it just doesn't fit. According to the state, in the 6-year period John Gacy stalked the streets of Chicago and suburbs, I was supposed to have tricked people and lured them into my Summerdale home. According to the state, once they were in my home, they were tricked and killed. 27 of them were supposed to be found on the crawl space, 2 others on the property, and 4 additional ones came from the Des Plaines River. According to the state's version of this case, I was supposed to have gone back to my construction business, 7 days a week, 12 to 14 hours a day. The state wants you to believe that case with that scenario. It just doesn't hold water. And it raises the doubt who John Gacy really is. And I'll tell you who he is. The 34th victim.
I know God is watching me. All the actions in my life at that time, I looked at them and tried to fathom how God would judge me. But everyone is good and evil in them. I'd like to be 100% evil, but I can't. I'm too easygoing sometimes. I was brought up very religiously. It was a part of my everyday life. How I thought, how I felt. Later on, in my teenage years, it was all in conflict with it, and still is. When I got to about 17, Mom kicked me out. It was a pretty hard life. I stole cars, picked pockets, stuff like that. Then I moved to California. I am receiving so much negative publicity. The media has portrayed me as a cold-hearted, ruthless monster, but I'm really not that way. I'm very down to earth. You see or hear about the crimes and then imagine what kind of individual is behind them. Going to trial was very tiring, but I did enjoy it better than sitting in a jail cell. Personally, I'd rather be at the beach or something. But the judge said my crimes were committed with cruelty, callousness, and viciousness beyond any human understanding. It is in no way beyond understanding, but mankind has been like that throughout history. It is for excitement. It is for self-gratification. You see it on the news every day. I leave, saying to all those kids out there, keep the evil thoughts.
Okay, so I woke up, got ready, and went out to the bus. The bus missed me like always, so my grandfather took me to school. I was at school all day, and I came home on the bus around 3:30. I just hung out in my room for a while, so I went for a walk. I get bored really easily, and I'm entertained really easily, so digging holes is just something to do. I just like to dig holes and climb trees, and I bury dead animals that I find because I like to be respectful to them. It's nice. It's cool. I dug a hole in the woods on Sunday because Sunday I was bored too. I had decided to go outside. I don't remember the exact time. Well, wait, that wouldn't make sense with the timing. I dug the hole previously. Wait, no I didn't because I wasn't at home. Actually, I dug the hole that day, but that wouldn't line up. I don't know. It was an accident. Elizabeth was just in the forest alone. We had decided to hang out because it was a nice day. We were just messing around and she fell. She died. I didn't know what to do, so I buried her body. Nobody helped me. I put it in the creek bed. I dug the hole Wednesday before the murder. I used the knife, kitchen knife. It's at home in the sink. I stabbed her afterwards, twice. I didn't know what to do and I was scared. Please don't let anything bad happen to me. I'm sorry.
When I left my home on Tuesday, I was very emotionally distraught. I felt like things could never get any worse. I was gonna ride around for a little while and then go to my mom's. As I rode and rode and rode, I felt even more anxiety come upon me. I felt I couldn't be a good mom anymore. When I was at John D. Long Lake, I felt I had to end our lives to protect us from any grief or harm. I never felt so sad and lonely in my entire life. When I was at John D. Long Lake, I never felt so scared and unsure as I did then. I was in my car, ready to go down the ramp into the water, and I did go part way, but I stopped. I went again, and I stopped. I got out and stood by the car, a nervous wreck. Why was I feeling this way? Why was everything in my life so bad? I had no answers to these questions. I dropped to the lowest point when I allowed my children to go down the ramp into the water without me. I took off screaming, "What have I done? Why did you let this happen?" I wanted to turn around and go back so badly, but I knew it was too late. I couldn't believe what I had done. I love my children with all my heart. That will never change. I never meant to hurt them. I'm so sorry for what has happened. I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive myself for what I've done. I know that it's going to be a tough and long road ahead of me. At this very moment, I don't feel I will be able to handle what's coming. But I've prayed to God that He will give me the strength to survive each day and face these times and situations in my life that will be extremely painful. I have put my total faith in God, and He will take care of me.
First, everyone understand I had nothing to do with Nicole's murder. I loved her, always have and always will. If we had a problem, it's because I loved her so much. Recently, we came to the understanding that we were right for each other, at least for now. Despite our love, we were different, and that's why we mutually agreed to go our separate ways. It was tough splitting for a second time, but we both knew it was for the best. Like all long-term relationships, we've had our ups and downs. I can't believe what is being said. Most of it is totally made up. I know you have a job to do, but please, please, leave my children in peace. Their lives will be tough enough. I want to send all my love and thanks to all my friends. I'm sorry I can't name everyone in you. I love you guys. I never would have made it through this far without you. With whatever the outcome, people will look and point. I can't take that. I've had a good life. I'm proud of how I lived. My mama taught me to do unto others. I treated people the way I wanted to be treated. I've always tried to be up and helpful, so why is this happening? I'm sorry for the quote and everything. I know how much it hurts. Nicole and I had a good life together. All this press talk about a rocky relationship is no more than what every long-term relationship experiences. I loved her to make that clear to everyone, and I would have done whatever it took to make it work. Don't feel sorry for me. Please, think of the real OJ and not this lost person when I'm gone. Thanks for making my life special.
When I first met Selena, it was like meeting Whitney Houston. I really looked up to her. I started a fan club for Selena. As I became closer to the family, it was that our friendship became more of a fan celebrity type, but to a personal type. I am not obsessed with Selena. I don't know why people say that. They made me out to be a monster. I just want to say I did not kill Selena. It was an accident, and my conscience is clear. It was never an intention to kill Selena. I told her it's over. Selena, I can't work for you anymore. She grabbed my feet. She told me. At that instant, the gun went off. I didn't know she was hit. I didn't even look at the door. The pictures that I see are dots. I won't discuss why I killed her. I won't discuss that because the truth is not out. I won't say why. I didn't have the opportunity to defend myself. I was not represented. If I knew then what I know now, you can rest assured my child wouldn't have gone the way it did. And I can assure you that. It was an accident. Selena will always be a daughter to me. She'll always be the gentle child I never had, and I'll thank her for it. I understand the loss to her fans. It's tremendous, not only to them, but to me.
I'm very upfront, talking about the killing and such. I murdered this man. There was no ambiguity, and I'm not just going to sit here and pretend to be remorseful. Why would I do that when I'm not? I killed him because he was a snitch. He even admitted it on many occasions. It was just too much. The things he talked about were just too much. I took him to my house, walked him down the street. I don't know why the media asked that he could walk. He walks very well. Walked him upstairs and killed him. I don't regret killing him. I found it necessary. But that really doesn't matter. If I could relive that moment over again, I would have kept him alive for a week. I would have tortured him for a week instead of 3 days. Everybody has a reason to kill. My reason might not be good to you, but your reason might not be good to me. I've never killed anyone else. People are going to believe what they want to believe, judge the way they want to judge. Just like I do. So be it. I got a lot of family in prison, and I'm okay with going to jail. I've got my sisters in prison. I can't wait to see them. I don't really find it much of a punishment, though, to be sentenced to spend my life with my family. My experience in jail, however, has been horrible. Jail is awful. They have no compassion. They don't give you the things you need. I certainly hope that prison will be different. I believe I should have gotten the death penalty. Well, I believe in God, and that's what God says. And unless God is wrong, which I doubt, I believe that. I expect to die for this. All right, are we done? Because I'm done.
I'm not gonna sit in that chair. I'll stand here and talk. Was I happy when I found out that I was gonna be gassed? You're talking about dying. Now, it makes me nervous, but I knew I wasn't gonna go to those gas chambers because I had done nothing wrong. You see, people dying all around me is no new thing. You come to these prisons and man, there's people getting killed all the time. These men, they gotta wear a shield, man. With all the violence and fear that runs these places, and you live a life like that, it becomes a natural thing. I'm not scared to die. I'm scared to live. Living is what scares me. Dying is easy. I have been in jail 34 years. 34 years, so I understand myself and I can deal with that. I can sit in my chamber and I do my number like a convict does a number. I don't know pain. I have no depth of pain. I have no depth of suffering. I don't know all the bad things. I have been punished by you all my life since I was 10 years old. I have been to every reform school you have across the country. I used to have to lay down and get my butt whooped to the point where I couldn't walk. Tell me about some pain. Not bad, but good pain. Pain's not bad, it's good. It teaches you things. And would you put your hands in a fire? Ow! You know not to do that again. Yeah, I understand that. You see, I'm brand new. Everything I do is brand new. I am on the premise of reality. I walk a real road. I am a real person inside. I'm not a phony. I don't put on any airs. I say what I think. See what I'm saying? Someone sees it, they go behind it, and they say, hey, how are you doing? And you know what I say? Good, how are you? There's a thin line between bad and good. Only special people get to walk that line. All my life, I've been on that line. I don't see anything. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I'm zero. I don't get involved. I don't ask the police to protect me. I protect myself. And whatever happens, happens, man.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. When I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. Till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah. Do you, don't you want me to love you? I'm coming down fast, but I love you. Tell me, come on, tell me the answer. Will you leave me alone, but you ain't gonna get
Since we were kids, we lived with our mom. And when she would come home, she might be a mess or whatever. She would tell us that she saw things, like she would think there were bugs on her or that there was an earthquake. Things like that. That night, she kept asking us questions like, why are you like this? Why are you the way that you are? It was just antagonizing. She was trying to hit us and she started to threaten us with everything. She was just being mean. She even said that she was gonna kill us. I was shocked. I mean, we'd gotten into arguments and fights before, but she never wanted to kill us. I didn't think that she hated us. She started hitting me. Taz always wants to protect me, so she grabbed her and they got into a little skew. I tried to get between them, but we all ended up fighting. We were all tangled up in each other and we rolled onto the floor. There was a knife laying there on the floor and we all saw it at the same time. We all rushed for the knife on the floor. We all rushed for it, and my sister and I, we grabbed our mom and we pushed her back because we didn't want her to get the knife. Tasmania got the knife. She killed Mom. I kept telling our mom how sorry I was, not just for things, but for everything, that we couldn't get along. I'm really sorry. I didn't kill our mom. Tasmaya did.
We were rolling around on the ground, and that's when Jasmine got the knife and killed Mom. She stopped screaming. I wasn't happy, but I felt relieved. I felt like I was just tired of dealing with this, so I was content. She was still alive, though. She was calling us ungrateful. Mom was just talking out of her mind, and then she just died. Me and Jasmine were crying a lot. We went back to my room and started changing out of our clothes. Jazz put the dirty ones in a trash bag. She put the knife in there too. Then we went to school. Throughout the whole day, we didn't talk till we got on the bus. Throughout the day, I thought the police were going to come get us. That's how I felt. We walked into the house, and it was like seeing it all over again. That's when we went to the neighbors and called the police. We didn't plan it or anything. I don't want to say it was a twin thing because it wasn't. People always say that twins have some sort of communication, but that's not true. There was no plan going through me or Jasmine's head. We just knew we had to do it.
The people who believe me and my brother are spoiled and bratty haven't seen the whole trial. I would be surprised if anyone that was present at the trial and saw the whole thing, rather than just snippets on the news, would feel that. I feel remorse every day. Tremendous remorse. My father was threatening us, so there was a lot of fear. But there was great anger on my part. This all happened in just 3 days, and I wish I'd give anything to turn back that one page of my life. There is no explanation. There isn't any, and we don't offer one. After killing our parents, we decided we wouldn't tell anyone. We felt that we would go to jail, and it's a very selfish reason to just not want to have to go through that. I don't think that it's understandable. I mean, people react to a traumatic event like that in different ways. I just hope someday we can be with them and have some sort of conversation about what happened. And tell them I love them, you know? And that I believe, despite all, everything that happened, that they really loved us and things just went awry.
A lot of people think that I'm spoiled. It's not who I am, but I can't defend that, because I came from a family of wealth. But that doesn't make me spoiled. I'm just a normal kid. Well, I didn't have normal experiences. I did that, and there's not a day that doesn't go by where I don't think about what happened, or wish I could take that moment back or change what happened. It's hard to live with that. There's tremendous pain. I mean, the second we got back to the house after the killings, I said, this is wrong, and this is awful. How could this have happened? I couldn't accept it. But once my parents died, me and my brother had all of their money. We didn't know what to do with the money. So we went out and bought as much as we could. Cars, watches, investing in businesses. Got to a point where I couldn't live. I felt that I was the worst person on earth. And I needed help, so I went to a therapist. And that was the catalyst for me getting arrested. When we finally got the verdict that we were guilty of first-degree murder, I realized that I was going to spend the rest of my life in jail with no possibility of getting out. And you're devastated. If I could say one thing to my parents, I would say that I forgive them for anything that they may have done to us. And if I had one wish, it would be to have just a simple conversation with them, or to change places with them.
Lori. This is the hardest letter I've ever had to write, and you'll probably all hate me once you've read it. I've kept this inside myself for so long, and I just can't lie to you anymore. Both Paul and I are responsible for Tammy's death. Paul was in love with her. He wanted me to help him. He threatened me when I refused. No words I can say can make you understand what he put me through. So stupidly, I agreed to do as he said. But something, maybe the combination of the pills and the food she ate that night, caused her to vomit. I tried so hard to save her. I'm so sorry. But no words I can say can bring her back. I've thought many times of running away, but I couldn't put you through the pain of losing another daughter and sister again. I don't blame you all if you hate me. I hate myself. I live with the pain of knowing I unintentionally killed my baby sister every day. I think that's the real reason I put up with Paul's abusive behavior. I felt I deserved it for allowing him to kill my baby sister. I loved her so much and never wanted to do anything to hurt my sister. Please believe me. I would gladly give my life for hers. Nothing I can do or say can bring her back. I don't expect you to ever forgive me, for I will never forgive myself.
there you have it.
You saw our truths discovered and unraveled before your eyes. We were normal people. Normal people you walk by every single day.